concepts that has really, stuck with me is desired end states, right?
Yep.
Commander's intent. So we're going to talk about it later on, but can you just share real quick how commander's intent or desired end state applied in that situation so we can later talk about how it applies in real estate?
That was that wasn't one of our normal missions, right? This was a big mission, a really big mission. This mission, so the U.S. has battle plans. Like if all of a sudden North Korea was going to invade South Korea, there's already a book this thick with the plans for what we're going to do. This particular mission, securing the oil platforms, ever since the first Iraq War, when Saddam had destroyed all the oil in Kuwait, like we knew he wasn't full of crap when he was talking about what he'd do. There's plans for this, right? So those plans are very specific. They fit into the overall battle plans. So that was a very static mission for us, meaning there's an oil platform, go take it. Most of our missions are not static. It's a very dynamic environment that we work in. It's ever changing, highly dynamic, and lots of risk. With that type of environment, our commanders can't tell us go take that house. Mm-hmm. Like they said with this, like go take the platform, make sure it doesn't get damaged. From there, most of the time, if they were to tell us that, the world would change so much, even just on the way to the target, that we'd be in trouble. So most of the time, we are tasked with what they refer to as commander's intent, where he would tell us what it would look like, the battle space would look like after we were done, as opposed to what we were doing. And that commander's intent gave us the flexibility to adjust strategies and tactics in that ever-changing environment while we're executing the mission. So it's the best way I liken to it is it's the reason why we're going out, not what we're going to do or how we're going to do it.
Yeah. So the objective as to why this objective is important versus what the exact outcome looks like.
It's literally most of the time, especially like in business, you're telling people what to do. And a lot of times people are telling people how to do it, right? Which is 2 layers too deep. Our commanding officer would tell us why we're doing something. It was our job to tell him what we were going to do to produce that, fulfill on his why.
Yeah.
And then he would give us an okay of, did we get it right? So he would never tell us strategy. It was our job to identify strategy.
Yeah, but there's always like, here's why it's important.
Yep. Why is important. That's it. Here's the why. We showed up with the what. And then as an officer, my job was the what we were going to do. My guys, my leaders, my enlisted guys, they told us how we were going to get done. And my job was to follow them, not actually lead them.
One of the things that, and I know we're kind of going a little bit differently than how I would normally do this, but like I said, it's been instrumental for my business. The things that it's always felt like top-down management, right? Like, hey, Larry, how many dials did you make today? How many contracts did you have, right? And it just feels like I'm pulling this out of you, right? And it feels like micromanaging, right? And the things that we've learned very recently with you guys is that it's not me requesting this of you, it's you're reporting it to me.
My job to over-report.
Right, your job to over-report. And then when I have the intel, now I can make decisions on the business because I have all the intel on the front lines. It's a completely different way of looking at business.
It's the concept. Again, if I was to say what was, like I talked about responsibility and feedback and planning, but the concept of leadership versus management was ultimately one of the biggest paradigm shifts that I had. When I go as a junior officer, so I come straight out of training, I'm out of training, I go get assigned to a team, I get assigned to a platoon, I walk into that platoon space, I would be the second, at maybe the third highest ranked person in the whole on that platoon, which means I'm very high at the top out of 16, 17 guys. Yet I know the least, right? So I show up absolutely brand new, but they have to call me sir, and I can tell them to do anything, and they have to do it as long as it's a legal order. If I go into that environment pretending like I can lead them to success, I'm going to fail. It's going to be dangerous. My job is to create a space for them to lead me to success because they have the knowledge, the experience, they have the confidence of previous action to get stuff done.
Yeah.
And so there's this real change that going into an organization and pretending like you know how to lead people to success is usually very wrong and ultimately very limiting. Whereas my job was to create the space for my guys to lead each other and me to success. That is, when my job is to create leaders around me, I'm infinite. When my job is to lead others, I'm very finite.
Right. And this is conversations I had with Jaden, right? He's my, now he's my CAO, right? Coordination of Action Officer.
Yep.
And like, we had conversations like, who reports to who exactly? Like, look, like right now you're there to support them so they can be successful.
Yep.
That's your responsibility, right? You're not leading, you're not directing, right? You're just giving them the space,
creating the space
to be successful, right?
Create, enable, support leaders. That's it.
Yeah. And then the other thing too.
And ultimately what's crazy is you as the CEO, right? As the most senior person will often report to him.
Feels that way. Yeah.
You should, right? Like, cause at a certain point, he's going to need to direct your action to get stuff done. And therefore he's leading you, even though you're the most senior person.
Right.
That's how a SEAL team operates.
Yeah. So it's